The best places to visit in New York State, USA. New York State holds the biggest pool for visitors from around the world. The entire state of New York has plenty of attractions to keep you entertained. Besides the urban allure, culture, and shopping of Manhattan, much of New York State is still, in many ways, waiting to be discovered. The state is endowed with outstanding beauty and diversity of scenery. Although New Yorkers have long vacationed in the Catskill and Adirondack mountains and at Long Island beaches, most have seen too little of the state between its tourist bookends, New York City and Niagara Falls. The historic Hudson Valley, a majestic river lined with elegant estates, is finally positioning itself as a destination, not just a day trip from the city. Planning a trip to a state as large and diverse as New York involves a lot of decision-making, so in this video we've tried to give some directions. We've chosen what we feel is the very best the state has to offer, the places and experiences you won't want to miss. This video gives you an overview of New York State's highlights to get you started planning your trip. 1. New York City, known as the Big Apple. New York City is arguably one of the most important cities on the planet. Diverse and always buzzing, there is an unlimited number of attractions to explore in the city. Most of the biggest landmarks are found in Manhattan. If you're on a whirlwind, then the highlights might include a visit to the Museum of Modern Art, a trip to the top of the Rockefeller Center, a view of the Empire State Building and the New York Public Library, throbbing with flashing neon lights and glittering billboards. Times Square is the city's dazzling entertainment district where tourists can catch a Broadway performance and shop for souvenirs. 2. The Statue of Liberty. Give me your tired, your poor, your huddled masses yearning to breathe free. These famous lines come from a poem celebrating this monumental symbol of freedom. The neoclassical marvel was a gift from France to the United States in 1886, and is probably one of the best-known statues in the world. Visitors to Liberty Island, where the statue resides, can choose to enjoy the sight from the ground or ascend to the crown for an unparalleled view. The statue can't help but inspire no matter how it is observed. It stands as a reminder of its role as the first face to greet immigrants coming to America to seek a better life. 3. Niagara Falls. Niagara Falls is actually a series of 3 waterfalls which, when taken together, send more water cascading over the edge than any other falls in the world. They straddle the United States and Canada, with waterfalls being visible on both sides of the border. It seems that Niagara can't help but capture the imagination of anyone who sees it. Known as the honeymoon capital of the world, Niagara Falls is absolutely a romantic destination. However, travelers of all types will want to check out this magnificent natural attraction. Its superlative nature has inspired some of the more death-defying stunts ever pulled in the 20th century. With people going over the edge and barrels are walking on tightropes across it. It seems that Niagara can't help but capture the imagination of anyone who sees it. If time permits, head to the Cave of the Winds, where an elevator ride takes you down to the base of the Bridal Veils Falls and puts you close to the action. 4. Thousand Islands. This collection of islands in the St. Lawrence River actually numbers closer to 2,000, although some of them are just barely big enough to support a single tree. Some islands belong to Canada and some to the United States. New York specifically. In addition to the beautiful scenery of the area, there are a number of attractions here, including Bolt Castle on Hart Island, which was built by one man out of adoration for his wife. The Antique Boat Museum gives history of the area by way of boats that were built or sailed here. For those who scuba dive, the wreck diving here is purported to be some of the best in the world. 5. Watkins-Glen-State-Park, also in the Finger Lakes region, located at the southern end of Seneca Lake, is Watkins-Glen-State-Park. If you want to get outdoors and experience some phenomenal views, then this is the perfect destination. A narrow gorge cuts through the park, creating amazing vistas from the trails on the rim. In one 2-mile stretch, you'll pass 19 different waterfalls. In the summer, there are outdoor swimming opportunities, and tour fishing is also a popular pastime. Backcountry camping is available, but many visitors prefer to relax at a local inn after a day of hiking and sightseeing outdoors. Hudson River Valley. As the name suggests, the Hudson River Valley extends along the Hudson River all the way from Troy and Albany in the north down to Westchester, just north of New York City. Much of this area is agricultural, boasting rural views and a bucolic landscape. Lots of farms mean that the Hudson River Valley can be a foodie's dream destination. Organic farms, local wineries and artisan cheesemakers abound, and farmers markets are a staple throughout the region. Lots of NYC chefs are opting to head to the Hudson River Valley to open farm-to-table eateries, so you won't have to go far to find a great restaurant in stunning rural surroundings. 7. Catskills. The great wilderness of the Adirondack and Catskill Mountains is magnificent for outdoors and sporting vacations, but those spots are also home to the easygoing charms of small towns. Just an hour's drive north of New York City are the Catskills Mountains. This destination is an incredible juxtaposition to city life, which is why the region is so popular among city dwellers in search of nature. In the Catskills, you'll find the Catskill Forest Preserve. This preserve is home to an abundance of wildlife, hiking trails and winter sports opportunities. If you're searching for culture, check out the Hudson River School Art Trail, where stops include famous landmarks and landscapes painted by local artists. Woodstock might be the most famous town in the Catskills, due to the iconic music festival of the same name. 8. Ithaca. College town of Ithaca is located in New York's Finger Lakes region, where it sits at the southern tip of Cayuga Lake. Ithaca is best known for two things: its higher education campuses and its surrounding landscape of gorges and waterfalls. If you are lucky enough to visit Ithaca, you'll definitely want to make time to tour Ithaca College and Cornell University. On Cornell's campus, spot the iconic clock tower and tour the collection at the Johnson Art Museum. Then, head downtown to Ithaca Commons, a pedestrian mall lined with restaurants and local shops. Spot some of the gorges and waterfalls in the area with a hike like the stone staircase that leads to Cascadia Creek Gorge. 9. Letchworth-State-Park. Also known as the Grand Canyon of the East, Letchworth-State-Park sits on the Genesee River and several of its tributaries. The river carved a deep gorge out of the rocks, and the result is breathtaking natural beauty for miles. Waterfalls dot the river and its creeks, with the highest waterfall in New York State, Inspiration Falls, residing here. People come to the park to enjoy hiking, hunting, fishing, whitewater rafting, snowmobiling, cross-country skiing, camping, and whatever else can be done when the weather's right. 10. Adirondack-mountains and Lake-Placid. This curious mountain range does not follow a tectonic path like the Rockies or the Cascades in the west. These mountains are actually parts of one large dome that was raised due to geological unrest underneath. Their beauty is unique, and it attracts outdoor enthusiasts of all kinds. Canoes and kayakers have multiple bodies of water to choose from. Hunting and fishing, though strictly regulated, are enjoyed by many. Rock climbers, birdwatchers, and snowmobiles can all find happiness here. In Essex County, in the heart of the Adirondack Mountains, is the village of Lake Placid. Despite its small population, Lake Placid is well known thanks to serving as the host of the 1980 Winter Olympics. More specifically, Lake Placid was the site of the now famous Miracle on Ice, the hockey game held between the USA and the USSR. Sports are still a major draw to Lake Placid, and your visit could include mountain biking in the summer, hiking some of the 46 peaks of the Adirondacks, or Nordic skiing in the winter. Whatever the season, check out the Adirondack Equine Center for horseback or sleigh rides. Thanks for watching my video. Please like, comment and subscribe.